I'd now like to introduce Anastasia Timoshkina, who will deliver the student address on behalf of our Auckland International Campus students or graduates. Anastasia arrived on our campus in June of last year and immediately made a huge impact on students and staff alike. Her intelligence, open-mindedness, and patience have made her an effective and valuable student ambassador on campus. Anastasia joined us to complete a postgraduate diploma in applied management after having completed a specialist program in linguistics, translation and interpretation at Moscow Regional State Institute of Humanities and Social Studies in Russia. Anastasia is passionate about volunteering, especially at big events, and enjoys road tripping around Aotearoa. At nearly every student event at a Target Polytech Auckland campus, Anastasia was always a volunteer. She was always a familiar face, willing to help, no matter what. So with her impressive resume, broad international experience, and valuable leadership skills, we're certain that Anastasia has a very bright future ahead of her, and are so pleased that she chose to make her mark on our campus. Please join me in welcoming Anastasia to the podium.
Thank you so much, Sunny. Hello, everyone. Привет, привет. It's hello in Russian. So my name is Anastasia, and it is an honor for me to speak in front of you today and represent my fellow graduates. We have finally made it, and we are here. Yay! Make some noise, guys! Yoo-hoo! I would like to thank our lecturers for knowledge they share with us, to thank the Corporate Relations and Employability Department, and of course, my favorite, the Student Success Team, Mariam, Artemis, and Ellen. Thank you, girls. Love you. You spend more time with students during the year than anyone else on campus, living up to your name of helping students to succeed. And now, speaking about my background, I was born in Turkmenistan when this country was part of USSR, and then my family moved to Russia in 2004. I'm from a single-parent family without siblings, and I was raised by my mother and grandmother. My mom made me feel loved as her daughter and gave me everything I needed: good upbringing, education, and a role model to follow. She supported me in my decision to come to study in New Zealand to Otago Polytechnic, Auckland International Campus. She also helped me a lot in becoming the woman I am today. Back to Russia, I was always trying to find volunteering opportunities for myself, and I have a lot of experience in volunteering during sport events like BMX Championship, skydiving, canopy piloting championship, art events, Victory Day events, environmental projects. I was part of a small volunteer community that helped homeless and disabled animals, mostly dogs. Moreover, I have compassion toward the older generation and treat them with respect and try to help them if I see someone is in need. My mom is a good example to follow in this case. And I have a very exciting story, which I will try to tell you in short. Ask me for details if you're interested later. So, well, the story begins with my mother, who was concerned about one homeless lady, which she met on the street one day. You should know that it's not typical at all in Russia to talk to homeless people, but my mom started to ask this lady different questions, but mainly, how did it happen to her? Why did she live on the street? It turned out that this woman left home in another country, Moldova, 10 years ago for work. And since that time, her family don't know where she is. It was horrifying, and my mother wrote down the last address this woman had and her children's names. Then my part begins. I used all the social networks to find her elder son, but there were many profiles with the same full name. So then it turned out that 2 years after this lady left home, her elder son went to a famous TV show in Russia, which helps to find lost people. On the website of this show, I managed to find this picture of the guy, of the son, and now I knew whom I was looking for. I managed to track him down through a friend of his on social media. The next, he called me from Moldova. he couldn't believe me, what I was telling him, and he started to cry. I gave him time. Then we decided to find his mother on the streets and bring to our place and wait for him. He was going to drive down to Russia from Moldova, which took 1 day. It was difficult, but we found that lady and brought her home, gave her wash, changed her clothes, fed her. She told us that she went to Moscow 10 years ago to sell some farm products while her eldest son was in the army and her little daughter left with her grandmother. The following day, after she sold everything, she was robbed. Her passport and her money was stolen. She couldn't come back in this situation, and she decided to stay to earn some money. Well, to come to the end of the story, her son came early the next morning to take her home. The moment when they met each other was so heartwarming. Now family finally was reunited. We stayed in touch with this family for several years after that, and that lady was happy to go back to her family and start new life again. This story taught me compassion, patience, and love. Although I might not have been the best student academically in the past, I have always been a hardworking person, trying to understand other people and be a good listener to them. I'm enthusiastic about social events, activities, which is why at the very first opportunity I had to become a student ambassador, I didn't hesitate. I know, guys, that for you the past year wasn't the easiest one. You had to study, to write assignments, the same time to work, to care about your family members. Maybe not all of you got the highest grades for your papers. Respect to those who did, though. Or maybe lower than you expected. However, now it's not the time to dwell on this. You are now here because you succeeded, and the important part is to look ahead and to lead a respectable life. The things I have learned so far since coming to New Zealand are: we should not have unrealistically high expectations that can lead to constant disappointment. Set realistic goals, especially being in a new country where some of us have had to start from scratch. Stay patient with everything that happens around you. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel. We should accept the fact that we are in a diverse environment right now, with so many cultures which are obviously different from our own culture. There is no culture or society that is better than the other. It's all about being respectful to everyone. Take any opportunity to integrate yourself into local culture by learning local laws, social rules, the Maori language. This is my next goal, by the way. Travel around New Zealand, do some volunteer work if you can. And to conclude, we're here for a reason. Just think about it. Even if you don't see the big picture now, as Martin Luther King said, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. You have already made the step in believing in yourself and coming to New Zealand. Just make sure to continue to take steps with faith and you will reach your destination. But don't forget to enjoy the journey. Thank you. With love.
Thank you, Anastasia. We've got a gift for you as well, and I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Excellent.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. As DJ Forbes and Anastasia